guys, what's up? Welcome back. We're back in the garage working on the C10. So as you can see, I have the 2017 Camaro 1LE rear suspension sitting in place. So I came to some realizations yesterday after I pulled all of these bushings out. I was going to get that on film, but it turned out, you know, two of them were easy and two of them were two were easy. One of them was a little harder and one was a female dog. So not fun. This would be pretty much ride height. I can lower the frame down about another ½ an inch, you know, or roughly somewhere in there. I don't have much room, but it would level out. And surprisingly enough, that notch actually fits right where that upper control arm would go. However, this thing would be, I don't know if you can get that out of the way. I don't know if you can get a picture of this, but, and it doesn't show up, I don't think, very well on the camera, but it's at a significant rake. And I really want the back of this thing lower than it was before. So that means modifying frame rails. Now to modify the frame rails, this thing is, I mean, look at that. Look at that movement. I mean, it is moving around on the jack stand ever so slightly, but that's just me wiggling just hardly at all. And there's so much movement in the back of here. And to think of possibly needing to, you know, move that or to trim that out and make it even thinner, I mean, it's going to be super hard to make it that thin and to have any kind of strength in it at all. So I went and bought some new frame rails today at the metal place. So what the plan is it's probably going to get lopped off somewhere in here, and we are going to give this thing a new booty. It's not going to be terrible. Was it what I planned to do initially? No, but when you're doing these kind of builds, whatever goes to plan. I mean, you have an idea of what you want to accomplish and things always change. Before I get into that, I've got this thing. I don't have a huge amount of space in here. So I've got to get this thing apart, get the leaf springs off of it, get the torque arm off, and make this thing just a little more itty bitty. All right, so we'll get that far and then we'll get the plasma cutter out and start doing some measuring and start whacking some frame rails off. So stick around, it's gonna be a good time. So if you need to disable the rear brakes, all you got to do is bungee cord them down and, you know, throw a block of wood and some shims in there. You got yourself a burnout machine. Put that there, and then lift this side up with the jack. Oh yeah, maybe it'll fall, I don't know. That's a chance I'm willing to take. Whew. That's a solid 65-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger anyway. All right, I think we will reposition just because I want something a little more solid than a 65-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe like a 64-year-old Or 63, whichever one he was in when he was in Expendables, you know. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we got it now. Plenty of room. Oh, I love power tools. But we don't need that anymore. And if you believe it or not, I actually made these leaf springs and tested their compression. So I did have a spring rate on them, and they were almost 284 pounds per inch. How did I figure that out? Lots of maths. And jumping. I jumped on it a few times. Where am I going? I don't know. I felt like the jack needed a few more miles on it, I guess. All right, now we're gonna give her the old heave-ho. And our 64-year-old, or 63, what do we decide? I don't remember. Arnold Schwarzenegger here. I think that's a good amount. Bam! That's not a wrench. That's a wrench. That's not a hammer. That's a hammer. I think that's gonna fall off. What do you think? Yep, that's gonna fall. Yeah. Hurt. There we go. Bam. And you're out there. If you guys have to move stuff around and you don't have these little dollies from the HF, what are you even doing with your life? It's another fun problem. In small garages, it's always move this, move that, move this, move that. What I think I'm going to do, and I'm not sure if it's 100% the right way, but it's the way that I'm going to do it, is I think I'm going to cut the frame right about there on both sides. I'll cut this, and then I'll lower this down to the correct height. That's going to be this backside coming down about 3 or 4 inches from where it is. So that's the next step, is get the fuel lines out of the way and get whatever wiring is left in there and go to town. Hopefully, I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to cross everything I got. Pro Truck, the Pro Touring Truck Shootout is in a month. I mean, it's, I think, 4 weekends away. And 4 weekends is not a lot of time. Well, that wasn't very tight. I'm surprised. This thing's been together 5 years. I can't believe that came off that easy. Man, I didn't even get a ugga-dugga on my wrench. Those were not tight at all. Sheesh. Get out of there. Oh my gosh, I think, I'm so excited about this. So I've got the brake clip, the brake line clippy in there. Spot for that. Look at that. Oh man, I love it when that happens. So I might not have to rebend that line, or at least remake it. I can put just, you know, just a little bend in it. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can straighten that. Oh, it's stuck. It's stuck. Why is it stuck? You know it's serious when you got to pull your pants up to get it out. It's gonna scratch up my fitting. Not terrible. I think it'll survive. Part of the problem with these trucks is all of the weight is forward, and there's not a ton back here until you put weight in it to haul something. You want to haul ass, besides just stuff, then we need to transfer some weight back here. And I don't know if you have seen any of my other pictures, but I had a big stack of weights right here. And I think I showed it when we were pulling the bed and everything apart, but I think with the added girth of the 2x4 tubing and everything else, that the weight will move back and it won't be a problem. All right. Luckily that spilled a bunch of gas right there. That's awesome. So when I pull out my plasma cutter and start cutting this stuff, it lights on fire. Didn't even, man, I gotta figure out what's up with my nose. I never realized how much I sniff. See, hammer, big wrench, and AN fitting removal tool. Yeah, this is gonna spill gas everywhere, but gotta get it out, so. Probably ought to get under there and pull it up all the way, but we're gonna be cutting up here, so I think we'll be all right. Got a couple more zip ties, and I think we'll be ready to do some slicing and dicing. So that's all the heavy stuff. I see no reason why I don't start cutting. I'm just gonna use that front leaf spring perch as my guide and measure it both on the same side and lop it off. That wasn't terrible. So now I just need to cut the bottom, and this will be apart on this side anyway. Back now. I mean, that was probably 10 minutes ago, honestly, but really now. going back now. I mean, I said that before, but